West launched a campaign against drug abuse and allegedly assaulted a policeman. To respond to the NDLEA under of Narcotics, James Awaji, explained that the agency received a petition from the community concerning the drug campaign and advised the youth to gather more details to enable undercover operations that would lead to the arrest of those involved. He, however, said that before the agency could act, the youth went ahead to carry out their own arrest, an action that later trended on social media. He said the youth took the law into their own hands when they beat up a policeman. He said the NDLEA will not ask a civilian to effect any arrest.
It's like taking law into their hands. We are not in support of that. Fine. If you arrest and give to us, we'll accept and investigate. But we'll not ask you as a civilian to go and arrest. The risk involved is even more. But if we are the one that go ourselves, we know how we can do our job effectively for the purpose of a better prosecution, because a youth leader might not come to the court and say they want to testify against, but we officers, we do. So that is the challenge from Mpolu community that was everywhere.
Awaji also said the NDLEA is partnering with communities across the state to help identify and expose drug dealers.
When they commit, they run. Where they are hiding is still the same community. So we partners with them to help us fish out these people so that we can get them arrested and bring them to book. So without the community cooperation, we cannot be able to successfully get this done. They know them, they live with them, and they are also destroying their children. So when they fish them out, we are not going to expose anybody. But when you see something, you say something.
Well, we go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll tell you why FCT doctors are back on strike just hours after their national body suspended a warning strike. Stay with us.
Congratulations, you're a sinner.
Hi, Okenwe.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back. A psychiatrist, Dr. Chukwuma Okafor, is warning that low awareness of depression is putting more people at risk Speaking to our correspondent, the consultant mental health physician at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital explains the depression signs that you need to watch out for.
The symptoms include undue sadness, that kind of sadness that people can't help themselves out of. There is lack of interest in previously enjoyed activities. For example, somebody who used to love watching football, all of a sudden the football does not give him joy anymore. They could also have sleep problems, poor sleep or sleeping too much, weight issues, increased weight or reduced weight, or lack of appetite or too much appetite. Other things that people could have excessive guilt, hopelessness, feeling of hopelessness, worthlessness, and helplessness.
Dr. Okafo explains that depression can be mild, moderate, or severe. His studies may improve with social support. To severe cases often require therapy, medication, or both psychological, biological, and challenges can.
Most moderate and severe level attention. But within range of mind, the things that, with good support by society, in the workplaces, by getting around people, listening ears. Somebody can actually put it, and sometimes some may require talking therapy, some may require medication, some may require a combination.
The cast is calling for more away. People strongly struggled when it strike over what in a statement signed by the president of the association in the FCT, George Ebong, it said the decision was reached after its emergency general meeting held on Sunday. Ebong said the strike will remain in force until the government shows a genuine commitment to the welfare of doctors and the health of FCT residents. The indefinite strike action comes hours after the National Association of Resident Doctors (NARD) suspended its one-week warning strike. The strike was suspended to grant the federal government a 2-week grace period to meet its demands. The association said it will reconvene on September 26 during its annual general meeting to decide whether to resume the industrial action. NARD President Dr. Tobe Osundara said the decision was reached to show goodwill to Nigerians and to allow the government time to address lingering welfare issues affecting doctors. In other news, President of Rotary Club of Port Harcourt Metropolitan, Mr. Isu Opera, has pledged to drive the club to enviable heights while galvanizing Rotarians for the betterment of society. Opera, who is also the MD CEO of Endless Group, made the promise while delivering an inaugural speech shortly after his installation as the 4th president of the club. He said the hallmark of his administration will be human capacity development.
In this my government, I will ensure that Rotary Club Port Harcourt Metropolitan implement impactful community projects and human capacity development, such as basic education and literacy, water, sanitation and hygiene, maternal and child health, disease prevention and treatment, economic and community development, supporting the environment, peace building, conflict management and resolution.
In a valedictory remark, the immediate past president, Cynthia Ogenero Emu, expressed confidence in the ability of Isu Opera to provide premium leaders to support the new administration of humanity.
Our new president and his team, we pledge their support and respect to their vision for the year ahead. Together, we embark on projects and initiatives that will make positive impacts in our communities. I encourage every one of us to embrace this team wholeheartedly as a guiding light for our Rotary journey and unite for the good of humanity.
Correspondent Nnamdi Samwala reports that the highlight of the ceremony was the unveiling of club's community service project for the 2025/2026 Rotary year, the induction of its board of directors and new members. Some dignitaries, including the General Overseer of Omega Power Ministries, OPM, Chibuzo Chinyere, received awards at the event. In business, the Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals will today launch its compressed natural gas CNG trucks for the commencement of nationwide distribution of petrol. The refinery announced in August that it received the first batch of its 4,000 CNG powered trucks for the fuel distribution program, which was initially set to commence on August 15. During a courtesy visit by the Africa Rice Center on Monday, they reiterated that decision to adopt direct fuel distribution was to reduce dependency on third-party carriers for fuel distribution in Nigeria. Last week, the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, accused the refinery of offering lower prices to international buyers while quoting higher rates to local off-takers. Responding, however, Dangote said it decided to jettison the single-point mooring (SPM) system for fuel distribution to avoid an extra cost of 75 naira per litre in handling charges, which would translate to 1.5 trillion naira annually. Also still in business, Nigeria's crude oil export declined by 3.18 trillion naira in the first half of 2025 despite an increase in production volumes. This is from the latest foreign trade statistics report from the National Bureau of Statistics. The report said between January and June 2025, crude oil export totaled 24.92 trillion naira, down from 28.10 trillion naira in the same period of 2024. This represents an 11.3% decline in value, or a loss of 3.18 trillion naira. The contribution of crude oil to total exports also weakened. In the first quarter of 2024, crude accounted for 80.8% of Nigeria's export, but by first quarter of 2025, this had dropped to 62.9%, a decline of nearly 18 percentage points. The downward trend continued in second quarter, with crude making up 52.6% of exports compared to 71.2% in second quarter of 2024, a decline of about 18.6 percentage points. By contrast, non-crude oil exports surged. We go straight to entertainment. Nigerian singer and songwriter Seyi says the death of singer Sound Sultan made her lose interest in music. Speaking in a recent interview on TVC, Seyi, who described Sound Sultan as her mentor, best friend, and father figure, added that the birth of her daughter also led her to decide to take a break from the toxic environment of the music industry. In sports, Manchester United have got worse under Ruben Amorim, says former club captain and record goal scorer Wayne Rooney. The 20-time English champions appointed Amorim on 1st November last year to replace the sacked Erik ten Hag. But more than 10 months later, the Portuguese head coach appears to be showing few signs of being able to revive the team's fortunes.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. The aftermath of Israel's strike in Qatar is expected to be high on the agenda. Last week's strike, which targeted senior Hamas leaders on the close U.S. allies' territory, drew international outrage and was criticized by President Donald Trump. The meeting comes as Arab leaders hold a summit in a show of support for Qatar. Its prime minister urged the international community to stop applying double standards and to punish Israel.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this afternoon, you heard Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, has asked politicians to sheathe their swords for peace. Rivers workers are protesting against verification exercise order. Police have arrested a man for defiling minor in Rivers State. On the foreign scene, you heard U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has met Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss fallout from Israel's Qatar strike. The news was edited by Martha Okeri. To reach the news team, send an SMS on WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.